Okay, so thank you all for participating in our study. Basically, what we're trying to do is assess the current majors and minors at Sacred Heart and kind of talk about them and see if there's potential for other minors to be introduced and see if you would be interested in them. So if you could please go down the line, say your name, your major and minor if you have one, how old you are, and your current class standing.
Can we go first? I'm Cole Plummer. I'm a junior, 20 years old, and I'm a political science and philosophy major.
Lenny Bird, marketing major. I'm also a junior. And I'm 21 years old. Bang, bang.
Chris Becker, I'm 19 years old. I'm a business management major, and I'm a freshman.
Dennis Alvis, I'm a nursing major. I'm 18 years old and I'm a freshman.
I'm Anthony Orzo. I'm 18 years old. I'm a freshman. I'm a history major.
Okay, awesome. Again, thank you for participating in the study. Okay, so the first question is, when you guys were coming to Sacred Heart, what were your thoughts about what you wanted to major in?
Well, I knew that I wanted to major in political science before I started college, so I kind of knew that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't find my philosophy major until I actually declared this semester, so it took me a while.
I came in as a business major, but I took an intro to marketing course with Peter Moresco, and he inspired me to be a marketing major.
I originally came into college, wanted to become a criminal justice major, but I realized that really wasn't the route I wanted to take, and I kind of wanted to make a little bit more money when I got out of college, so I decided to become a management major, maybe double major in finance later down the road.
Half my family is nurses, and I had no choice but to do nursing if I wanted to come here, so that's why I did nursing.
I came into the school as a secondary education department, wanting to teach somewhere in the high school range. I chose math originally as my major, but then switched to history.
Okay, so going off that, whether you knew what you wanted to major in or not, when you got to Sacred Heart, what was your experience like selecting classes and then also like declaring a major?
Selecting classes, well, my first semester I was playing football, so they selected my classes for me, so I didn't select any of my classes my first year at Sacred Heart. And then after that, I've had my same advisor for political science, so he's helped me make my schedule every semester since.
My first year I wrestled here, so they also made my schedule. From there on out, I just made myself. My advice isn't
For the first time I had to choose my class, and my advisor didn't really help me out that much, so it was basically on my own for choosing. Could be a little bit better, but it's fine.
Yeah, first time I did it, my advisor didn't really help. Just told me what classes I had to take, just basically on my own from there. It's the same thing this semester too.
My first semester as a math major, I was given the professor who helped me pick my classes and actually made my schedule my first semester, and then when I switched to history, I kept him as my advisor, but I started to make my own schedule.
Okay, and for declaring your major, was it easy to do? Did you have to get help, or was we pretty generally easy?
Yeah, it was really simple.
Yeah. Okay, so even though you've already chosen your majors and minors, do you think that Sacred Heart offers enough majors and minors? Should there be more? Should there be less? Do you think that some should only be offered as a minor? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that they just make it a little difficult, I think. I don't think they really tell you the path to getting different majors and minors. I know for myself, I had kind of a tough time figuring out how I was going to pick which majors and how I was going to kind of make my schedules work. So I think, I don't know, I guess they don't really tell you how to go about declaring a major in a very graceful way, I guess.
I definitely think they need an engineering department. I know they're working on one, but I do like all the business majors they offer and how easy it is to be a double major. It's like coinciding courses.
I agree with anything Cole said. That's what I would 100%.
I don't really know too much, but I know we have a lot of majors here, good majors. But I mean, they could always add something like when you said engineering, because engineering, a lot of people want to do engineering. So like, I don't know. If they brought engineering into the school, I think a lot more people would come, bring more money in.
I feel like they have a good enough majors and minors to have like yourself declare as, but as like deciding what you want to be declaring, like it can get a little confusing, especially some majors and minors you have to wait until like your sophomore junior year. So,
Okay. All right. So currently, like, what do you think motivates, like, say they were to hold like info sessions for majors and minors? What do you think motivates kids to go out and actually like go to these info sessions? And then like to go off that, would you be like, do you feel motivated to go to these sort of info sessions to like explore majors and minors?
If I went to one of those and they would tell me what class, like if they kind of like broke down how you should take classes and when and how to kind of make your whole college experience with, based on your major, so you kind of know when you should take classes, when you should do what, I would totally go to that because that's incredibly useful, I think. But I think that that's kind of something that they don't really do in general. So if they were to just kind of lay it out better, that's what I would do.
I actually think that should start at the high school level because I feel like a lot of students entering college are sort of blind to what majors entail. Like, I knew I wanted to be business, but I didn't know that I had a knack for marketing because marketing students need to have good presentation skills, quick thinking, and I think it should be something sort of like a career fair, but for college majors at the high school level, so they have an idea when they're applying.
Yeah, definitely with like info sessions. From what I can tell, most kids like they definitely need to be more motivated. Like, because I know from my personal experience, I would just blow them off because like I wouldn't view them as like something I want to go to. Like, or it's more of like I need to make it like more known or something. Like they need to do more of them, like get it more out there instead of just sending like little emails or something. Because like they'll just get lost in the
Maybe
twilight.
like phone calls or like
Yeah.
text would help, like
Yeah.
new students and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You guys?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I have to make it more well known and like appealing. 'Cause, like no one wants to sit in like whatever long like info session about like a major. Like no one wants to do that. So like if they made it more appealing somehow, like a little bit more
Less of like a
interactive,
lecture,
less
more
less
like
boring,
yeah,
more like
interactive,
interesting,
Yeah.
like interesting and stuff like that. I think would be good.
yeah, I agree. If they made it more appealing, it would definitely be better. I don't have like an urge to go.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the potential topics or courses that we'd like to discuss is event marketing. So regardless business major or not, when I say the words event marketing, what do you think of?
How you're going to market an event to a select group of people, how you're going to make people go to the
Well, I mean, event marketing is very broad. When you say event marketing, I think of everything that's going to be at the event, and then you guys pretty much trying to persuade us to go.
Yeah. See.
Like just broadcasting the event, like showing it's gonna be there and stuff like that.
Say just broadcasting the event.
Okay, so like it's a good like obviously broadcasting the event would definitely be part of it, but it would also mean like staffing for the event, like catering for the event, transportation to the event, stuff like that. So obviously like it's a lot more than just what you see at the surface. So if the school were to offer it as a minor, do you think that that would be a better use of the curriculum? Like, would you like to see that be it, or would you rather see something like engineering or like digital marketing or digital advertising and stuff like that being offered?
It's a practical minor, so it's something you can use in the real world. So obviously, I think that's always beneficial and to some extent, but I think it also has to go with what your major is because you can have a practical minor, but if it doesn't really go along with what you're doing, it's kind of useless.
Event marketing, I would say, isn't like a wide enough range to put into a minor. I just think it's part of the whole marketing major. because marketing has so many aspects. You can market for a pharmacy company or you can market for the Super Bowl. It's two different things, and the marketing major sort of brings that all together into one whole thing.
As like a minor, like it all depends on what your major is. Like event marketing, like it would just depend on what your major is. And if it's like pointless to your major, then it wouldn't be really useful doing it as a minor.
I don't know. I think unless you were taking like a marketing or like something in business, I don't think like you would want to take event marketing as a minor unless like I mean it does have like positives in like actual life like down the line, like getting like to be able to like organize stuff like whatever. But actually, it's not
So, for instance, something that would make more sense, which we do have, is a sports minor for a marketing major, and that gives you the variety of marketing for a sports company and then marketing for a sports event. It's all tied in to the major. I just think there needs to be different like categories where marketing, event marketing would fit into.
So instead of like a minor, do you think it'd be more appropriate as an elective?
Yeah. For instance, I'm currently a sports marketing minor, and one of my classes that I need to take are sports venue and event marketing. And I think that's perfect to tie into like sports sponsorship classes and other sports marketing classes. It's a great addition.
Yeah, it really all depends on your major, whether that would be an appropriate minor. Like, I would never take something like that being a history major, but for some people it would be different.
Okay. So as of right now, with your course loads, you guys are all like on different scale. Some of you are freshmen, some of you are juniors. Do you think that the course load is too hard or too easy based off your majors?
I mean, being a political science major, I found that I finished my major really easily, really quickly. I jumped right into it my first semester, so I was pretty much done with it in my sophomore year. So I picked up a minor and eventually turned that into a double major. So I mean, I don't know. I know it's different than a business major, but for political science and philosophy, it's going to be relatively easy to get a double major in both.
Again, it's really what you make of it. If you kind of just want to slide through with one major, then so be it. But Sacred Heart does give you the opportunity to challenge yourself and take a few extra winter courses or overload a few classes so you can reach that double major with the business workload. And, you know, it's really not that much, but it's probably the perfect amount for a college student.
Yeah, I would definitely say like depending how you apply yourself, if you really want to like challenge yourself, the school definitely gives you that opportunity. And as Lenny said, if you just want to slide right by, you can. But you definitely have plenty of opportunities at the school to double major and do what you want, get the full education you need.
My major is a lot of work. Like, all science health majors are a lot of work. Like, you don't really have time for a minor, unless maybe in your last 2 years, maybe it's less work. I don't know. But yeah, like the workload is really a lot for like a freshman to come into college. Like just to pick your major and come here and just get bombarded with all this work kind of sucks. But
Being a second semester freshman, I feel like it's too early for me to judge how the workload will turn out. But as of now, it's clearly different for different majors. And right now, like for my major, I think it's just the right amount of work.
Okay, so regardless if you have a minor or have like, thought about it, do you think that other students, or I guess you can be included in this, so do you think that people see a minor as being too much work and stressful, and that's more of a reason they don't go for it, or is it more that the curriculum that they want to take isn't there? What do you guys think?
I don't think people are aware of how easy it is to get a minor because for your major you need a certain amount of electives and they literally can work with each other so your minor can fill all your electives. And also the extra courses again for the double major. It's right there in front of your face, but a lot of students don't know it. And I think that's on the advisors a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I think that they kind of I think they maybe don't emphasize necessarily how little class it takes to get a minor. I know that I agree with Lenny. I know it's different for different areas, but for myself, I was looking at getting my minor, and I only needed 6 classes, and I already had taken classes that would work for it. So, I mean, I feel like in a lot of situations, you really only need 3-4 classes to get a minor, depending on what it is. So, I don't know. I think it's relatively easy, but it also kind of depends on what you're doing. Because I know if I was in nursing, I wouldn't need a minor, but I'm sitting here going into my senior year, and I'm done with my major already. So, if I didn't have a minor, I wouldn't have any classes to take for the next year.
Okay. So thank you for answering all the questions so far. We're almost done. The last thing we would like to know is any feedback on that students can give about the advisors and more the faculty of Sacred Heart about classes. Like, do you guys think that there should be more attention on the students and like the info sessions type thing where they should know more about what their classes they can take, basically, does Sacred Heart staff pay enough attention to the students to make sure they know what to do?
All right, so I can say that my experience with that has been awesome because Dr. Rose, who's the head of the political science department, was my advisor when I declared. So, and he's great with it. Every semester I meet with him, I sit down, he prints out my thing, shows me exactly what classes I need to take. He literally writes out, take these classes every semester. Like, he wrote out every class I need to take for the rest of my college career when I was a sophomore. So, if your advisor would just sit down with you and walk you through what classes you should take and how to get where you want, I mean, it's been so easy. It's been the least stressful part of college, and I see people freak me out about it all the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, if advisors would,
What about for
Sure, some
nursing majors and OT, PT, stuff like that? Do you think that the faculty invest in that time making sure the students know what they have to take?
Yeah, I think they do. They always stress it in my classes. Like all my teachers always stress everything like that. I think my advisor does a good job, but I don't really go to any of the things that she tells us to go to, so can't really knock her or anything. But when I need her help, she's there to help me.
Okay. So it's more like a motivation issue with the students if they just are motivated not to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, thank you all for participating in the focus group, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Matt.
No problem.
Thanks, John. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
John, thanks. Thank you, John.
John, I want to thank you.
John, you are the man.